Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang.
Hare Krishna. You are so welcome to our channel, Bhagavad-gita. Here it is, because we have it, Bhagavad-gita as it is, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And my name is Labanga Latika. So we're in the 10th chapter, and we're hearing about Krishna's opulences, the opulence of the Absolute, wherein Krishna is responding to Arjuna's questions. Let me hear more about you. And then Krishna will say, among fish, I am the shark. Of mountains, I'm Meru, and I am all-devouring death. I'm the beginning and the end of the middle. So in this way, we can actually remember Krishna everywhere, and it's actually the meaning of Krishna consciousness, to be conscious of Krishna in this existence, so we don't change our existence very much, but we take it to another dimension of spiritual awareness. So today I am starting with text 35. Brihat samatata samnang gayatri chandasamaham masanang margashirshoham ritunang kushumakaraha. Of the hymns in the Samaveda, I am the Brihat Sama, and of poetry, I am the Gayatri. Of months, I am Magashirsha, and that falls November, December. And of seasons, I am the flower-bearing spring. Purport. It has already been explained by the Lord that among all the Vedas is the Samaveda. The Samaveda is rich with beautiful songs played by the various demigods. One of these songs is the Brihat Sama, which has an exquisite melody and is sung at midnight. Yeah, I have never heard it either, but it sounds very beautiful. In Sanskrit, there are definite rules that regulate poetry. Rhyme and meter are not written whimsically as in much modern poetry. Amongst the regulated poetry, the Gayatri mantra, which is chanted by the duly qualified brahmanas, is the most prominent. The Gayatri mantra is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam because the Gayatri mantra is especially meant for God realization. It represents the Supreme Lord. This mantra is meant for spiritually advanced people, and when one attains success in chanting it, he can enter into the transcendental position of the Lord. One must first acquire the qualities of the perfectly situated person, the qualities of goodness according to the laws of material nature, in order to chant the Gayatri mantra. The Gayatri mantra is very important in Vedic civilization and is considered to be the sound incarnation of Brahman. Brahma is its initiator, and it is passed down from him in disciplic succession. So Prabhupada brought this disciplic succession to us in the West, and he initiated his disciples. When he came to America, 1965, some of these young people out looking for something more in life. There was this big hippie movement of displaced youth roaming America, testing alternatives to their ordinary life. It was a very interesting time, and we can hardly imagine it, because now we see the young people. I mean, we can understand when people are kind of middle-aged and they have responsibilities, and maybe they're paying for their home or caring for, making sure their children grow up properly. You can't just change your lifestyle. But at youth, it's kind of built in that you're a little open. You're questioning life, you're questioning values, you're questioning the path. And nowadays, we see less of that, because it seems to be that fear has replaced curiosity, and it's also natural. Prabhupada says that in this world, if there is too much enjoyment, like in the heavenly planets, there is hardly any suffering. I mean, there is no physical suffering, practically speaking. Life is long, everything is beautiful. There will still be death. There will still be the sense of maybe disrespect among your equals or something like that. But suffering like we see it here is not there. And when suffering is too intense, then it's also difficult to focus on spiritual life. When there is wars or famines or great diseases or poverty, then one will have to focus just on surviving, and there is no energy left. And somehow we have built up a society where the young generation cannot feel safe that the next step, they can put their feet down firmly on the ground to whatever, education, work, a home. They may succeed, they may not succeed, because we have built up such a weird society that there's only room for someone who can sell their qualities to the to the employer, and that's not how it's supposed to be. And then we see this fear growing that you have to work hard in school, or maybe you can't get in the right track at all, and you fall outside, and it's very difficult to come back. So that's not the kind of society we're meant to have. Like a Vedic king, or even anybody who's responsible for running the society, their first job is to make sure there is engagement for everyone, so that everyone can live kind of peacefully and also gainfully, giving something to society and getting back the security of being part of the society. So in the 60s, people were very secure, but at the same time this unrest started, because what is the meaning of life? Are we meant to just be sent to war on the other side of the planet for something we don't even understand? And we had the hippie movement, and some of them came to Prabhupada. And he was sometimes criticized by his more orthodox, traditional colleagues in India, that these people, are they really qualified to take initiation? But Prabhupada didn't go by what was their birth, where did they come from. No. And also, as rightly as Krishna says in Bhagavad-gita, your position in society is judged by your guna and karma, not by your janma and karma. Janma means birth, and birth will have something to say, because it kind of gives your starting point. And if you're starting in a culture where there is much spirituality and knowledge, you're one step ahead, of course, obviously. But it depends on what you do with that. If you don't utilize it for spiritual life, then you're not going to do spiritual life. And at the same time, here in the West, we are not really born in a spiritual culture. There is some religion, but spiritual culture, as we understand it from the Vedas, is really not there. But these young people that came and joined Prabhupada and accepted his instructions and got the training from him and the purification from the process of bhakti yoga, then he gave them initiation into this disciplic succession. And the first step was the Harinam initiation, the initiation into the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. And then at that point, when such a person was further qualified, then the Gayatri mantra was given. So it is given from the spiritual master to the disciple at that point. So Brahma is its initiator, and Brahma is the first created being in this universe. But this disciplic succession is continuing down to these days, and we are still receiving the Gayatri mantra in the line that Prabhupada brought to us here in the West. The month of November-December is considered the best of all months, because in India grains are collected from the fields at this time, and the people become very happy. Of course, spring is a season universally liked, because it is neither too hot nor too cold, and the flowers and trees blossoms and flourish. In spring there are many ceremonies commemorating Krishna's pastimes, therefore this is considered to be the most joyful of all seasons, and it is the representative of Supreme Lord Krishna. So we can think of Krishna the harvest time, because everything comes from him, and we can think about Krishna in the springtime, because any joyous connection will remind us of Krishna, and also many of the activities, because Krishna was here, he did different activities. And in our temples we have festivals on specific days, like we are celebrating Krishna's appearance day, we are celebrating different days. And then sometimes you go to a more established temple in India and they have celebrations almost every day, because that's one of the names of Krishna, Nityotsava. It means every day is a celebration, it's a festival when Krishna is concerned. think I will read the next verse, text 36. Dyutang chalayatam asmi tedyas vinamaham jayosmi vyavasayosmi satyang satvatanamaham. I am also the gambling of cheats, and of the splendid I am the splendor. I am victory, I am adventure, and I am the strength of the strong. Gambling of cheats. I have read it as of cheating. I am gambling. Purport. There are many kinds of cheaters all over the universe. Of all cheating processes, gambling stands supreme and therefore represents Krishna. As the Supreme, Krishna can be more deceitful than any mere man. If Krishna chooses to deceive a person, no one can surpass him in his deceit. His greatness is not simply one-sided, it is all-sided. So we see that gambling, some people can do the occasional, get see. My English, I have never heard much about gambling in English, but you get one of those lottery tickets and maybe you win something, and if not, you lost not very much. But some people really get carried away by this, and it is cheating, because whenever there is gambling, whoever issues the gambling, they never lose. For them it is a controlled thing. They get so much money in, and a little part of it is giving back to the winners. So ultimately, it is a form of cheating. And all cheats, Krishna is the greatest cheat. In the form of his illusory energy, he is cheating everyone. Yes, come to this material world, take a material body. You will definitely enjoy it. And then we don't talk about the birth, death, old age, and disease. That is deceased. That is absolutely part of it. So gambling is not recommended. It's one of our regulative principles. We avoid gambling because it destroys truthfulness. Because to be truthful, we have to be deeply honest with ourselves. We cannot say, yes, let me get something for nothing. Let me enjoy in this world. We have to be very honest and sincere and see in our hearts, what am I going for? Am I going for pleasing Krishna, or am I going for the easy way to more sense enjoyment? So yes, but even in that side, Krishna is there. Like we heard, Krishna is death, Krishna is cheating, Krishna is so many things, because without Krishna there would be nothing. So Krishna allows us to experience the whole range of experiences, some of them positive, a lot of them well, they all include a learning opportunity. So there is that. Among the victorious, he is victory itself. He is the splendor of the splendid. Among the enterprising and industrious, he is the most enterprising, the most industrious. Among adventurers, he is the most adventurous. And among the strong, he is the strongest. When Krishna was present on earth, no one could surpass him in strength. Even in his childhood, he lifted Govardhan hill. No one can surpass him in cheating. No one can surpass him in splendor. No one can surpass him in victory. No one can surpass him in enterprise. And no one can surpass him in strength. So we love this Krishna. We want to hear more of him. We have the Bhagavad-gita, and actually we have the promise that if we take this lifetime very seriously, to use it to develop Krishna consciousness, we will be able to realize our own spiritual nature by the mercy of Krishna and Krishna's representative. We will be able to connect again with him in our relationship, and we will be able to see him face to face in a loving service. So that's quite amazing. I just wanted to put a few words here about the Govardhan hill. He lifted Govardhan hill even in his childhood, and I think we spoke about that before. But what a show of strength. We can have people, they lift weights, or they they wrestle one another, or things like that. You hear stories about somebody gets stuck under a car, and then out of that enormous adrenaline thing that you want to save that person, an ordinary person, suddenly they can lift the car. Yes, but who can lift the mountain? who can even grab a mountain and hold a mountain on the left little finger for 7 days. We only hear of Krishna doing that. And he did it to show Indra that you're a little bit mistaken here. Because we have a relationship. You're in this world to serve me, but somehow you have forgotten. So it doesn't really work to be angry with me. And he did it to his devotees because they took a chance on pleasing Krishna. They had a tradition of doing the yagya for Indra, Dev, and then Krishna says, no, let's not do that. Let's do something else. Let's worship the Govardhan. And then they did that because, yes, Krishna, if you like, we will do that because we love you. And they took a risk because Indra got angry. Indra put on a little show of destruction there with thunder and lightning and hailstorms and created an inundation of Vrindavan. Krishna lifted Govardhan hill. Everybody came in under it. So he said that you take a chance on me, you surrender to me, even in this world where it will be misunderstood, I will take care of you. So that is Krishna's strength. He's not just showing off, but he's enjoying his own adventures, and he's always pleasing and protecting his devotees. So we're invited to be those devotees, taking shelter of Krishna at the Govardhan hill. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Please come back for more, mostly Tuesdays and Fridays. I may forget them sometimes, but mostly they are there. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.